Yeah, well, I just wanted to go back. We have other people watching, maybe. I mean, not right now, but, we're recording this because, like I told you, I wanted to make an example of you. But let's see. Last week, you got the results back and you passed the bar, right? Or
Yes,
was
sir. Yes,
okay.
sir.
Then, just a little while before that, you graduated from Baylor Law School, right?
Yes, sir.
Not a small deal either. Let's see, I'm wondering, do you wear either your UT or Baylor ring?
Well, you'll see I went neutral this morning. I chose a gray shirt here because I didn't want to really lie down with either of them. But I have to be completely honest. I don't have a ring from either school, but when it comes to athletics, I probably still fall under the UT bandwagon and follow all the Longhorn sports. So hook 'em horns, all you guys
Yeah.
watching out there, and sick 'em bears on it if the day's right.
Okay. Yeah. UT got to you first, that's for sure. Well, I want to go back, Drake. Let's see. Then you're married to Shelby.
Yes, sir.
You guys are moving to Dallas because you already have a job, right?
I do. Yes, sir.
So everything's really falling into place. But I want to go back. Uh, was it 4 years ago that you graduated from UT?
Oh my. Let's see. I graduated 13, so it's 7 years ago now.
Okay, 7 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. 7 years ago, you graduated from UT and made your parents proud.
I hope.
And Cody and Marcy pitched this idea of, hey, don't go to law school, don't get a real job, hang around here with us. We've been praying for laborers, be a campus missionary intern. How did that first conversation go?
I will never forget the first conversation. My path to the Baptist student ministry was a little bit non-traditional, I'm sure, from some of the folks considering being a CMI. I really didn't get involved until my final year there at UT. And we went to Beach Reach together, and I think I had made an impression on Cody and Marcy. And Cody took me out for lunch one day and pitched the idea. And, well, what else are you going to do? Well, I got a lot of things in mind as far as what I'd like to do. Really prayed about it. And the Lord just put a real weight on my heart for the city of Austin. And my experience at UT, like I said, a little bit non-traditional. I experienced a little bit of what UT had to offer up front, and then got into the BSM and just realized, this is where it's at. And this is such a cool ministry. And UT's Baptist student ministry in particular was a very good environment for me to not only grow in my relationship with the Lord and experience what ministry had to offer, but also to really gain some skills. And I think maybe that's something that's overlooked occasionally when you consider, well, do I want to be a CMI? There's a lot more to it than just the decision to take a year off and delay some plans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is a lot to it. So you remember the first conversation, but then you got this burden. And so it wasn't out of, what, I kind of want to take what do they call it? A gap year anyway, kind of a big deal. And it's not like I want to take a gap year, because to be a CMI is not to do something passive for a year.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And in fact, when we're doing the interviews, we make sure, you got to feel called to do this, because at the end of September, it won't be fun if you're not called, because it's too much work.
Right.
So we try to look for call. So you got that, and then you did it, and then the wheels didn't come off. Even in the career, did you want to pursue law for a long time, Drake?
I did. Law school, maybe the common story is my dad telling me when I was 7 that I could argue with the fence post. And that law school seemed like it was in my path. But really, to be entirely honest, when the opportunity came up to be a CMI, I felt like I was really at a point in my life that there was kind of two paths. I was considering going into ministry full time, or whether the Lord was calling me to be a lawyer and still pursue that passion that I had. And one side of being a CMI that I won't say is overlooked, but maybe isn't considered up front. It was a great opportunity for me to experience ministry in a setting I was familiar with and passionate about, and get to determine, where is the Lord calling me? And in that year, I'm not going to say he shut my heart down for ministry. He just helped me understand that my skills led in the direction of definitely pursuing law. And my path to get there took a little longer than I thought it would. And before considering being a CMI, I mean, I was looking at going into law school that fall instead of spending a year with the Baptist Student Ministry. But I wouldn't change that decision for a second, because now I have firm convictions in everything I'm doing.
Yeah, that's good. And you know, the question comes up all the time. We're the Christian lawyers.
Right.
We're the Christian lawyers. We so need dedicated Jesus followers in that field and in that arena in our world. We need it very badly. Well, Drake, I mean, if I'm kind of old enough now that when I say I'm proud of y'all, it's okay. It's not kind of creepy. I'm proud for you. I'm thankful for your faithful service back then, that you gave that, you really gave your tithe up front. You honored the Lord with your first fruits.
Yes, sir.
Career, you gave him the first year out of college. And like it says in the end of Mark, whatever you give up for me, I'll give back 100-fold. And it sounds to me like he's done that already for you. For lots of us, or for lots of folks, the 100-fold comes late. But he's you're a great picture of a gracious God, and how he calls us to do hard things, then he helps us to do them. And you've done them.
Absolutely. And if I might add at the end, you know, looking back, and you asked when I graduated 7 years ago, it's been 6 years since I served as a CMI for a year. And I can see how it's trickled through my life, and how it's impacted me in work and school, and the opportunities of becoming a lawyer. It's really shaped who I am. And I mean, there's no words to describe the value that it added in my life.
Wow.
In every aspect. I mean, in just the way I deal with people, the way I handle work, the way I handle coworkers, the way I handle school, coming back to law school, you know, and the reason I do it is completely different.
Wow.
Before we got on this call, I looked at a little note I made to myself when I finished my year as a CMI, and I won't read it. It's kind of long, but it really spoke to where I'm at now. And it just changed my perspective being a CMI, because I came in wanting to get what I could have out of the BSM, and I realized at the end of it, it had nothing to do with me. I learned what discipleship looked like, both being discipled as well as getting to disciple others. And when you're in the role versus just kind of experiencing it, you really have to have a different mindset. And I mean, I hadn't read that in probably 2 years, and it was very eye-opening to see how a lot of those feelings and thoughts that I had at the end of my year are still carrying through, both in law school and work, in my future job. And it didn't cost me anything. If anything, like you said, it's paid me back over and over and over in every aspect of my life.
Wow, Drake, that's such a cool story. If that's something that you wouldn't mind sharing with me, if it's handwritten, if you take a picture of it and just send it to me.
Yeah.
And you tell me how private it is or not. And if you think others would benefit from seeing that, then we can make that happen. If you'd rather keep it closer to you, either way. But yeah, I realize this isn't the venue to share a real long thing like that, but I'd be interested if you'd like to share it with me.
Right, absolutely. I would, and I, as far as I can tell, anything I wrote in there is not so private that it wouldn't encourage, or at least lead somebody else on to make a decision that's right for them, or encourage them and anywhere they're at right now.
Okay, super.
Just seeing what that looks like. Yeah.
Great. Okay, well, Drake, good to visit with you. When things open back up for sure, you know, I make it through Dallas on some occasion. I would love to get with you and take you for a cup of coffee or go to lunch or something. I look forward to that. Okay.
That'd be fantastic. It was really good to visit with you today, Robert.
Okay. Thanks so much. We'll see you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.